One of the biggest things you're going to have to deal with once you start changing up the food that you're eating is you're going to have to deal with the social implications of that. Now, what does that look like? It means telling your friends and your family members why you're eating more fat, more protein, because they're inevitably going to say something about it. And they're going to be like,
you're going to get a heart attack if you keep eating all that fat, all that cholesterol.
what about your cholesterol? And they're going to start being concerned about your health, which is so interesting to me, because when this happened to me in my own life, I was like, wait a minute. When I was eating the donuts, you weren't saying shit. But now I'm eating steak, now you want to say something. Do you really care about my health, or is it just that you're projecting how you see nutrition onto me? And you have to ask that question, right? Because you can eat donuts all day long. People won't say anything. They'll be like, they just won't say anything. It's just normal, right, to eat donuts, for example. But when you start eating steak, butter, you start eating more avocados, you start eating more bacon, more eggs, people have something to say about this because it's not widely accepted. Like, most people are told not to eat that much saturated fat. Keep your fat to a minimum. Low-fat diet is best, right? So when you start eating more fat, your friends and family are going to start asking you questions. They're going to be like, why are you eating all this fat? You know you're going to get a heart attack, right? And they're just uninformed, right? They're just misinformed, okay? And they're just projecting what they believe to be true about nutrition onto you. So it's your job now to either inform them, which doesn't really work, let me tell you, or just deal with it like how I deal with it. So what I say is, why are you so interested in how I'm eating all of a sudden? My mentor, he taught me something that was amazing. It was such a great concept, and it's what I apply to most of my conversations. Because he asked me, he said,
when did you feel most under pressure when you're playing a game of tennis?
and I said, when the ball's in my court, when the ball's on my side of the court and I've got to hit the ball, that's when I feel most under pressure. That's the same way when people ask you a question. The ball's in your court, now you're under pressure. So I would like to hit the ball back and put it in their court. I always want to keep the ball in their court. The more I can keep the ball in their court, the more under pressure they are, and the more I don't have pressure, right? And so I always think about that in my conversations. So someone asks me a question, or they'll drop a comment like,
"Oh, you know that's unhealthy for you. You know you can get a heart attack from that."
Or you know that meat's not healthy.
Or whatever bullshit they say, right? And then I'll be like, since when did you care about my health? How comes you're caring about my health now? Just a genuine question. And they're going to have to answer. And then you can just deflect. Like, you don't have to answer the question that they ask you, right? It's none of their business. It's your business, right? And so this is how I dealt with it. But another one is like, let's say your mum is questioning you, or your spouse, even worse, your spouse is like,
I don't know if this is healthy, but darling, I'm not sure.
Then you have to have some sort of knowledge to educate them on, okay? So depending what it is, right? Like, you have to understand, and this is, again, like when you're a client of mine, you understand this stuff. Like when you either become a client or buy my program, you'll understand what's going on. Like, why are we eating more saturated fat? Why is this actually healthier than eating low fat? Why are we being told by these authorities to eat low fat diet, to eat lots of processed food, lots of carbs, and be addicted to sugar? We're not being told to be addicted to sugar, but that's the effect of doing those things, right? If you eat the way the food pyramid tells you, you're going to have all the issues that most Americans have, right? Which is high blood pressure, diabetes, what's it called? Heart attack, like calcification of the arteries, lots of issues, right? You're going to have all these issues, dementia, Alzheimer's, if you eat how the food pyramid tells you. And if you understand, and this is another thing, like your friends and family, they literally believe in the government is here to save them. Like they're the ones that believe that crap. So when you tell them that actually, if you take the food pyramid and just flip it upside down and just eat that way, you're going to be healthy. You won't need to go and have your meds. You won't need to go to the hospital. Like, your bloods will be great, and you'll have more sex drive than you know what to do with. And you're just going to be feeling much better in your body. And you're going to build muscle faster. You're going to have better skin, more energy, no brain fog. You tell people this stuff. That's what they want, but they're not willing to go ahead and go against the grain. And that's ultimately what I've been doing for the last, 4 years. So I got healthy 6 years ago, but 4 years is when I took my health to the next level, okay? When I started implementing what I'm telling you. So when your family member or your friends start asking you why you're eating lots of steak, why you're eating lots of fish, or why you're eating lots of fat, right? You can just say, hey, I'm not sure why you're worrying about what I'm eating. But if they insist and they're just being open-minded and they want to know why, then you can educate them, right? But you don't need to force your opinion onto them. This is one thing that I've learned, is that I don't need to convince you that how I eat is the best way or it's a good way. I don't need to convince you of that. I just need to convince myself of that, right? That's all it is. You can do whatever the hell you want, right? I can't control you putting ice cream in your mouth right now. Like, I can't control that. I can control myself. And if you want to change, you can change, right? And I can help you do that. But it has to be your choice. Same way with your friends and family. Like,
Oh, why are you eating steak? Why are you not having no French fries and banana cake and all this crap?
right? I just don't want that. And if people can't respect your decision to not eat crap with them, they're not really your friends. You better get new friends. And that's hard. I understand. That's really hard for people because we're tribal creatures. We want to be in the pack, right? We don't want to be left outside of the tribe, because when we were left outside of the tribe, we were prone to attack and vulnerable, right? So we want to be in a tribe. That's just human nature. That's how we are. We're social beings. So I understand that. So it's about putting yourself into other environments where you can make friends with people who are eating the same way you are. Because if you're being ridiculed or singled out for making a positive change in your life, those people who are doing that to you are not good for you. Surround yourself with people who see the best in you, not the worst in you. Or surround yourself with people that are trying to lift you up, not pull you down. Okay? Because crab's in the bucket. The crab that's trying to make an escape, the other crab's trying to pull it back down. Okay? And there's a lot of people that are in relationships that when they start making a change, like let's say they hire me, I've had this happen. Like clients hire me, they start getting great results, and then they start noticing that the biggest problem is not what the work they're doing with me, it's the fact that how their social circle was reacting to them leveling up and changing and becoming a better version of themselves. Their social circle tries to drag them down, okay? And that's a telltale sign that you have the wrong friends, okay? So it's a hard process to go ahead and change your friends. It's a gradual process, but it's one that is necessary. This is why I created a community here at Health Mastery, where we go and help you to, have like-minded people around the world who you can have your new friends. You can form new friendships and lifelong friendships. That's one of the bonuses of joining me in the program, is because you get to meet other like-minded people who are on the same path. Entrepreneurs just like yourself who have the same problems, who are going the same places. Okay, and that's incredibly valuable because we all want to fit in. We all want to feel like we belong in a community. All right, so this is something that I've noticed in myself. So when I came to Bali, I started changing out what I was eating, and a lot of my friends were like,
What the hell are you doing?
but then a lot of my friends here in Bali started changing too. So we all started changing together, and now it's just normal for my social circle to eat lots of meat, for example, right? And yeah, it's perfect because we can go to the steakhouse and we can have a great time, and it's just a nice way to live when your whole social circle is like on board with, being healthy and understanding that health includes animal-based protein. And that's just the concept, right? Like that's something that you have to study to understand that and believe in it. But once you do, your health starts to change for the better. And anyone who tells you that animal food is not good is just misinformed, unfortunately. Like there's so much knowledge that I have about this topic, and it goes deep, right? Like, meat is bad, all that crap. That's all propaganda that's promoted. But anyway, I digress, okay? And again, you don't want to get into an argument with people about the science of this stuff, because cognitive bias is a real thing, cognitive dissonance. So people want to believe something, and if what you're saying goes against what they believe, they will fight you against it. They don't want you to win. Okay, and you don't want him to win. So it's just arguing is just a fail. It's an absolute fail. I don't argue with people. I'm just like, all right, you believe what you want to believe. I don't need to convince anyone of anything. And so that's how I deal with it. Like, I don't need to convince this whole table that what I'm eating is better than what everyone else is eating. I know it's good for me, and if you don't think so, that's your problem. I'm standing alone, but it's okay. Like, but that rarely happens, because I'm not in those circles. I'm not the only meat eater at a table full of vegans. Like, that's not going to work. And so, yeah, I have vegan friends, and they respect my way of eating, which is great. We hang out, we have a good time, but we don't really hang out over food because I'm not eating their food. I mean, I can eat some vegan food, but I'm not like, that's not my go-to, So it is what it is, and you'll find your tribe. The more you speak up and stand for what you believe in, you'll find your tribe. And that comes down to personal issues like self-esteem, confidence, boundaries, and all that kind of stuff. So a lot to work on. And if you want help with those things, I also help with that too. Because health it's not just physical, it's mental, right? So if I've had problems my whole life enforcing boundaries, having boundaries in the first place, and then self-esteem, like having low self-esteem, not being able to express myself, and speak up for myself and stand up for myself. And these are all things I've had to learn. It's been hard. It's been a grueling process, but the rewards far outweigh the work. And this is what's going to help you to stand up and in your power when people are starting to question what you eat all of a sudden, like they give a shit. No one gives a shit. They just want to project what they believe to be true onto you. Okay, so that's a key point to understand about other people and their beliefs and projecting their opinions onto you. Like they care. They don't care, because if you're eating a bag of donuts, they won't give a shit, right? So they don't actually care, all right? So understand that, and you'll be much better off, all right? So they're just looking out for themselves, and a lot of times they're just lacking the open-mindedness, and they're just ignorant, and they just want to hold on to their existing beliefs. People that do that, they don't grow, okay? You're growing, so take confidence and pride in that you're actually leveling up as a human being by being more open-minded and trying new things and experiencing a new level, a new normal where you're full of vitality, you have high levels of energy every day, you got high levels of sex drive, and you're enjoying life. You don't have any mental, you don't have any brain fog. You got a clear mind. You're able to focus, and it's a beautiful thing. All right, so I hope this video helped you with dealing with friends and family who are projecting onto you. Like, for example, my dad, I'm very stubborn, right? And my dad knows that about me, and he's also very stubborn. So it's like we butt heads a lot. And so I was telling him about red meat and how it's good for the body, and he was like combating me and stuff. And I was just like, oh, this sucks. I don't want to debate with you and stuff like that. But I felt like I had to because he's my dad. And I just realized, like, I'll just send him some resources, and then if he does read them or listen to them, that's fine. If not, then I can't really help him beyond that. And he did, and then he started texting me. He's like, oh, have you heard of this guy? I'm like, yeah, I know. I sent you that thing. And he's like, oh, yeah, he says this. I was like, yeah, I told you that already. But it's good. It doesn't have to come from me. So long as he gets the information, that's all I care about, right? And so it's great. So now he's like bang on with the meat, and he's like, yeah, this is great. This is good. So, yeah, it's a gradual process, and you can do the same with your loved ones, but forcing something on them is just a waste of time, because you can try and convince a man against his will, but he's of the same opinion still, right? So trying to convince a man against his will, he's of the same opinion still, right? So basically, like, you can't convince anyone of anything. They just have the same opinion. So yeah, I thought I'd share that with you. Sorry, I digressed a little bit, but I hope this helped. And if you want more help with how to implement this in your own life and get healthy, first of all, and start increasing your fats intake, and you're curious about how we're doing this and how we're helping you dial in your nutrition to where it's just a system that you don't have to think about every week, because decision fatigue is a real thing. You don't want to have to think about what to eat every day. You don't want to have too much choice, because even if you're a foodie, you have to learn that, wow, there's certain foods I'm eating right now that are not agreeing with me, and I don't even know what they are because I just eat so much stuff. You need to, eliminate some foods first, go back to square one, and then we slowly add more food, slowly. Then you can see, oh, this food doesn't agree with me. That food, that's definitely not agreeing with me. This food is great. I feel much more energized after I eat that. And if you want help with how to implement this in your own life so that your health becomes a permanent system where you don't have to think about it, it's just on autopilot. This is how I live my life. This is how I'm able to stay in amazing shape 24/7, right? Because I have my health dialed in. And wherever I go in the world, I know exactly what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat. And if you don't know the answers to those 3 questions, then it's time you get some help with that. Whether it's me, whether it's someone else, but with when you work with me and my team, we're not just going to go deep on your health, like nutrition, workouts, mindset. We're going to go deep on your mental health as well. Okay, so where are you holding on to resentments in your life? And how is that affecting your stress levels? How is that affecting your food choices? What's your relationships like? Like, are you stressed out with some certain people in your life? Are you having lots of issues with certain people? And what about your emotions? How's your emotional health? Like, are you super angry all the time? Who are you angry at? What are you angry at? All these kind of things play into food choices and your well-being and your nervous system, okay? So this is what I've got for you. So if you want that and you want to get on a free call with us, go and click the link below this video, or you can go ahead and access our program, which is basically everything I just mentioned, but in a program format. So you can go at it, go through it at your own pace. And we also have workouts in there for you as well, based on your level. And everything's in there. It's like my best stuff. It's like me brain dumping all my knowledge into a program, which is, you can get a link in the description. Or if you want personal hands-on help in our group, so you can go ahead and click the link below this video, and you can go ahead and book your free call. All right, so my name is Aaron. I'll talk to you in the next video, and hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe. See you soon.